he just has it with his nipples exposed. I don't see the drama, but I hear about it later. You know, it's funny how much, like, last song plays and then the first wave of people have left and I just hear the drunks arguing about something that really doesn't matter. And it's funny how much they should be embarrassed about this, because there's other people in the room that are just like, what the fuck, you know? We're going to swear on this show, so hopefully that's all right with you. But kicking out unruly guests, when is it okay? When is it, like, when do you take your toll? And what I want to tell you about is a story when this is a couple weeks ago. I want to say first weekend in June. I had a wedding up at the Diamond Room in Omaha, which is literally smack dab in the parking lot for the College World Series. It was their last wedding before they packed up and left for the College World Series. It's an awesome venue, huge. I think we had 450 people in there, you know, and I would say about 350 of them were over the legal limit to drive. They were shit-faced. Anyway, so literally music's been playing for 30 minutes. Guests just started arriving, and in about 15 minutes from that time frame, I'm waiting outside for the party bus to arrive with the wedding party and the bride and groom on it, okay? You following me? You know, while I'm out there, there's this bench. Well, it's not really a bench. It's seats from Rosenblatt Stadium, the old stadium that used to host the College World Series. And they just have it out there for outdoor seating. Okay? It's pretty cool. Anyway, while I'm out there with the wedding manager, or the venue manager, and then the all-day coordinator, okay? Their wedding planner. And it's just us three, and then this dude walks out, and he unbuttons his entire dress shirt, takes his tie off, drapes it around him, like, whatever. Unbuttons his entire shirt, untucks it, and he just has it with his nipples exposed. And he sits down on those seats, and he's just like trying to get some sun, like just not giving a shit, right? Draped out, and he's just like talking to himself. He looked like Machine Gun Kelly before he got tattoos. And you know, he's like, the dude's legitimately talking to himself, and I don't even know what he said. He kind of he looked like Machine Gun Kelly, and he sounded like Steve-O, okay? Just for reference. And me and the other two girls that were out there were like, like, what the hell is this guy's problem? You know? And so I'm just like listening to him talk to himself, and eventually I'm just like, all right, I'm going to go inside, check out, make sure everything's okay, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. So I leave, okay? I go outside, or I go back inside, and next time I come inside, the wedding party's arrived. We move on, okay? Everything seems fine to me, but it wasn't, because apparently while I was inside, bro out there with his nipples exposed, he got on a phone call, and he just started talking all this nonsense, okay? First call he gets on, he's talking about like, yeah, man, I'm so shit-faced. I'm blacked out right now. And I was blacked out by 4 o'clock. I've kind of brought back in, but I'm going to go back inside in a minute. I'm going to black out again. So that's strike one. First of all, you're saying that shit right in front of the venue manager, who will get in trouble, not just fined, but fired if she overserves anybody, and it'll fall back on the venue, okay? Strike one. But she doesn't interrupt his phone call, okay? she just lets it go. She actually goes inside to alert the security guard, who's an off-duty officer in uniform, about a guy that might be needing to be put on his radar, okay? She comes back out, the guy's on his phone again. Nipples still exposed, and he's saying like, yeah, man, I'm just at the diamond room down here where the College World Series is at. Speech slurred. I'm just speeding it up. Anyway, yeah, you should just drop off an ounce, and I'll buy some weed off you. I don't know how guys who smoke weed talk, but so that's strike two. She's like, dude, she confronts him, okay? And she confronts him, and it gets weird, okay? It gets weird. I don't know the whole story. Security guard comes out, says, like, listen, I'm not kicking you out, but you're definitely cut off from the bar. So homeboy has some choice words to say. Whatever, goes off. Guy's cut off from the bar. Bartenders know about him. Can't serve him again. Next thing you know, the bride's mother comes up to the venue manager, and she's like, why is he cut off? And she's like, well, he was talking on his phone that he's blacked out drunk, and then next phone call, he's ordering weed from a drug dealer to come deliver it here at the venue. She's like, that's just not acceptable behavior. And next thing, I don't know any of this. I didn't see any of this happen, but the fallout of that is apparently this guy is the nephew of the bride's mother, and he's the cousin of the bride. And it just blew out of proportion. Next thing I know, the venue manager comes to me, and she's like borderline in tears. And she's telling me all this BS and said she got talked to inappropriately. She's not happy, all this, that, whatever. This is setting the tone for a crazy, crazy night. And if you guys want to know which wedding it was, go to my Instagram, Derrick_Crown DJs. You can see it. It's a recent wedding. It was an awesome wedding from my point of view. Just sounds like there was some other things that got in the way. But this story brings up a topic for me is, when is it okay to kick out unruly guests or drunks? When is it okay to cut them off? And, next time I talk about this, I might bring on my friend from Talon Room, Matt Rogge, to talk about this, because we have had to cut off VIPs at weddings before. We've had to cut off the bride's sister, who couldn't barely stand, and she was at the bar ordering more shots. She was so drunk that she got a shot. She ordered a shot of tequila, and they gave her water, and she didn't even know the difference. Okay? So what I want you guys to think about is the protocol that you want to have in place, because this is something that you'll want to pass along to your bartenders, to the venue manager. Is like, yeah, we're going to have a pretty tame crowd. We're not expecting it to be that wild, but what if there's that one person who's had a little bit too much to drink? What are they allowed to do and not to do? I mean, they're probably going to tell you their procedures, but it's also important for you to understand that you're okay with how they handle certain situations, because this doesn't just fall back on you. Never mind. This doesn't fall back on them. This falls back on you and your entire reputation. This is how people will remember your wedding night. And, honestly, when you're touring venues, you'll want to talk to them about this. Tell me what your policy is for cutting people off at the bar. It's not a bad conversation. Yeah, the venue looks great, but does your crowd mix with that venue? Okay? Because I'll be honest, the nicer the venue, the stricter the policy is when it comes to handling drunks. I just won't be blunt. That's how it is everywhere. The newer the venue, the less they'll have written, the less they'll have in writing or have policies for. But also the probably stricter they're going to be, because as soon as they see something, they're like, I ain't dealing with that shit. So those are just important. And that's important conversations that you'll want to have, not just with your vendors, but also your significant other, the person that you're about to be marrying. Is you'll want to go down the list and talk to them and be like, who's this person? What are they like when they've had too much to drink? Chances are, if you don't know what they're like to be drunk, or what they're like with drinking, are you really that close to them? Should they be even coming to your wedding in the first place? I'm just going to say that. So these are important points to just bring up in your wedding planning process and discuss with everybody involved. And, you know, if you handle this the right way, then chances are you probably won't have to deal with it